Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Black Mirror 2. So I've run into a bug and I've tried to record this twice with the lockpicking minigame. Like, I don't know why, it's just crashing. And so maybe I can alt-tab out of it, maybe not. But we'll see what happens. I very possibly am going to have to skip it as a puzzle, which kind of sucks because it's kind of an interesting looking puzzle and there are so few of that. In the process of researching this, I'm not seeing anybody else have this bug online, and it did see a walkthrough that puts us about halfway through the game, or at least I scrolled down to halfway through the page in a walkthrough. We last recording drugged this guy and got Tom drunk. That is certainly showing Darren to not be a nice guy.
I've got to bend the wire so that the individual lock-in pins are arranged in a line. After that, the lock should then open.
So I don't even want to bother and try. I just kind of want to sit here and wait until the skip puzzle sign happens. I could, I think, move these pins up and bend the wire. I think that'll work. But every time I've tried to click this, it locks up the game. And I don't know why. I saw something about control tabbing the Steam overlay out. I don't have Steam overlay enabled. So that really shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be an issue ever anyways. I can say each one of these puzzles is randomly generated, which is kind of interesting. However, this lockpicking game is very unrealistic. And there's enough lockpicking tutorials, and just that's become an odd part of maker spaces and the STEM movement in general, to know that you can't lockpick something with just one paperclip. You need some kind of tensioning rod to twist the barrel cylinder so that you put some pressure on these pins, and you can take advantage of the fact that the pins are not perfectly smooth. Thus you can create a wedge right at this line here as you're nudging and bumping the pins downward against their spring. Not, however, sure if you can skip this without doing something. Maybe the game will not bring up the skip thing until I start bending the wire. Like, let's just do one. It still seems like we're still in control as far as the game. So it seems like also you could exit. This is a pointless puzzle. This game places the puzzles in just kind of random orientation. Doesn't seem like there's anything that comes about or needs to be done immediately. It definitely feels like all the puzzles were their own separate teams making separate gameplay mechanics. I did, in the process of looking up this recording, refresh myself. This game was made actually in 2011, so it's even less quality than I thought it was. And the first game was in 3D. It's just a broken mirror, Black Mirror 2 just was, I think, made by a different company. And in making it, in the fact that it was made by a different company, oh, maybe I'm supposed to turn them downward. I haven't tried that yet. They decided to go in a different direction. Maybe that's why I was the only person in the world to ever run into this problem. I could simply have been the only person stupid enough to bend the pins upward instead of downward. Like, you're supposed to be able to hit this and it's supposed to go in. It's supposed to tell you what, kind of show you how far the pins are going down. And I guess maybe if it had a negative force to it. But I've been sitting so long, it doesn't seem like you get to skip until you've tried it at least once. Unless this is skip. Where'd that exit button go? Wait a minute. There was an exit. Like...
Not quite as easy as I thought. I'll try it again later.
So...
I've got to bend the wire so that...
Skip that. And now the pins are slightly different. So the exit is in the skip. And unless I'm really stupidly missing something, I've got to try it. I've got to really give it a effort. I imagine if this is supposed to be down, this is supposed to be up a couple, and this is supposed to be up a couple. The thing is, you really just don't know the level of entry. Is this point really the top point and this point really the bottom point? And there we go. I clicked, I tried to do something, and the game froze up. Okay, so now let's try Control Tab. I don't see any reason why that would work. And you're not getting a lot of indication that it's frozen. So I'll Alt Tab out and then switch back in. And now the camera is all screwed up. So can't see the mouse or anything like that. Maybe I'll Alt Enter into it. I hear sounds, but I cannot, like, I can't do anything. And the screen's all screwed up now. Right. Okay, I see the mouse again. Okay, that was enough. The custom mouse cursor is now gone. The screen is in the top left section, out of order. I did one click, I think, and so now I'm just hoping the game will let me skip with the button. But maybe the screen's not updating. There, let's just try and click as many of these as possible and see if the button will appear. 4 clicks. How many do I think would be necessary until the button would appear? Because, yeah, the screen's not updating. This is horrible. Black Mirror 2 has been a pretty bad game up until this point. Now it's literally unplayable. Alright, so I've hit it multiple times. I'm just gonna try to go around the edge of where I think the skip buttons might be, because I'm not sure it would be in the lower right hand corner. So I'm gonna try to go slowly towards the lower right hand corner. There we go. Got it. Now what? Now what do I do? Seriously, like... I don't see the screen. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what to click on. I can't save this game because I don't know what I'm clicking on. Let's see. Yeah. And is there an OK button maybe on the screen? Asking if I want to skip the puzzle? So we're gonna have to break here, but we may also have to just rage quit. So give me a moment. Let me see what I can do. Okay, I'm back. So it turns out it wasn't particularly locking up as much as it was taking a infinite amount of time to animate the bending wire going into the metal cylinder of the lock. And so if you alt-tabbed out of it with the default video settings and hardware accelerating turned off, that's what I did. Maybe those things don't need to be done. If you alt-tabbed out of it, then you alt-tabbed back into the game, the animation would be a few frames ahead. Not one frame, so it's not a ridiculous amount of effort. So I alt-tabbed in and out every time I clicked it. I actually solved the puzzle. I didn't even get the indicator to skip the puzzle this time. And we are now directly behind that. It's almost a half shame that this was something I fixed. Also, this is certainly not something that's mentioned as a solution, although it makes sense now why pressing Shift Tab to bring in the Steam overlay would potentially fix it, because if you're taking a single process game out of the line and the loop, maybe in its background and when it's minimized it'll do something a little bit different. Totally not a bug that should exist though, and there's way too many problems with this game for me to really recommend it at this point. Let's read the letter and just move forward in the story though.
That's it. A letter addressed to Angelina Morgan. Oh, you'd better be worth it.
I kind of wish I would have been able just to rage quit the game at this point. It's been dull, and we're halfway through.
A sealed letter. Angelina's name's on it. It was posted yesterday. Locally around here. I ought to read it. It could get me somewhere. Let's see. If anyone's reading this, then something's gone wrong.
My name is Angelina Morgan, and I'm gathering information about Black Mirror Castle, the Gordon family, and a secret society. I feel under threat and am being followed by a man called Reginald Boris.
Thanks for the reminder. It's been so long.
Please contact the police and Darren Michaels in Biddeford, Maine, USA for further information. I've heard scratching noises coming from beneath my
Why not write everything in the letter?
I've discovered a space under the floor and was able to decipher the code. The solution was known by two storytelling brothers from Germany, GFT 62 17 1 25. I'm going to throw in this letter and ask Murray for another room. Darren, if you're reading this letter, I've really tried, so I'd like to thank you here for your help. I love you.
You went on one date with this guy. One freaking date. Ridiculous. And this is why I think maybe if you're gonna have a romantic duo in a point-and-click adventure, and you're not gonna do the typical thing of having the first game set up the beginning of their relationship, where they kind of hate each other at the beginning and then fall in love at the end.
Noises under her room.
Probably should just
introduce creeping about the hotel.
Introduce them as long-term partners from the beginning. It would definitely have made more sense if Darren spent all the time up to the point where he met with Angela talking about how he had a girlfriend back at the university and that he was in love with Angela, and that they knew each other before that point, that would have been a lot better, and it really wouldn't have changed the story much. There is also a continuing issue where I saw a considerable amount of other bugs in this game. So, like the very next puzzle under her room, I saw bugs on that. So if I run into those bugs, that'll be even more frustrating. I assume now we can finally look in the bookshelf and find the combination to the puzzle. So again, the game is putting puzzles back to back.
2 storytelling brothers from Germany.
Yeah,
And
Grimm's
here's a
Fairy
book.
Tales.
Grimm's Fairy Tales, that's gotta be it.
Yeah, the Brothers Grimm.
There are 15 selected fairy tales in the contents.
Okay.
The Frog King or Iron Henry. Huh. GFT 12, Rapunzel. And so on up to GFT 187.
Alright. And the letter just told us the numbers. But did I pay attention to any of that? I don't know. And is this really just going to be a book?
That's exactly what's in Angelina's letter. GFT and then a few numbers. I'll take the contents page with me.
So he just rips a book for no reason when he could have just kept the whole
Shame
book.
about the book. But nobody would have read it in the next 100 years anyway.
That is ridiculous. A ridiculous, insulting way to treat a book for no reason. Can we just use these two on top of each other?
That's the contents from the book, The Fairy Tales of Brothers Grimm. There are 15 in total, all numbered in a list. I only know a few of them.
Yeah, but I have to remind the audience I'm looking at this on a TV at 10 feet away, so I can't really read all of these. And if these are not in order, which it seems like they might not be, maybe I don't need to know the page numbers as much as maybe just the chronological order of everything. This very well could be a puzzle I have to skip just because of an inability to gain the knowledge. And I am assuming they put the puzzle, the Grimm's Fairy Tales, in some kind of random order. So I couldn't look it up somewhere else. I could look up the walkthrough, certainly. But
let's see.
Let's see what this does. Alright. We've got a whole bunch of things that don't seem like they have anything on them that's being labeled as far as text over the screen. And what is the lock in here? Like it's a full-on combination here. Yeah, it is. And we're getting no visual assistance by hovering over things. And right-clicking only circulates things in the other direction. So even if I knew that the first number was 5, which I'm not certain about, and that landed on like Little Red Riding Hood, which I'm not certain of, and that symbol is Little Red Riding Hood, which I am not certain of, are kind of left in the lurch everywhere. I see a frog here. Seems like all the symbols are the same on each. Like, why not just put the combination solution immediately in the puzzle? Or over here on the side. And there's no exit, it seems. So, how many turns are necessary until we give up? There we go. Like, this game is just not helping me, frankly. Yes, if I was closer to the screen and I could make out what this symbol is, and I can make out this symbol, and I can make out this symbol. Or if they had just done the simple thing of having, when I hover over something, it tells me what it says, like every other point and clicker I've ever seen would do, I could solve this pretty easily. But I'd also have to be closer to the screen to see the torn out table of contents. And this was the recommended resolution, by the way, of the game, was 720p. So, honestly, in making newer games, it's like in the 7 years between 2011 when this was made or released, it was probably took many years to make. I wouldn't be surprised if it was in development hell for all 8 years that it was after the first game came out. A 720p resolution is not the resolution you'd have by default. Minimum you'd have 1080p, but you would then adjust that so that you zoom in more and have a closer, better outlined puzzle. I'm just gonna skip it though.
That's it. I heard a quiet click.
And the next bug I heard about is right when you go down this section. So GFT, it was what, 627125, like, and let's go ahead and click all of these. Interesting, he's Xing out blank lines. And we have organized some light as our next goal. And it would be pretty ridiculous to not save the game. Just an extra safety save after that. Like, the game at this point is falling apart at the seams. With a bad puzzle right after a glitchy puzzle. Let's see. Light. How come all the alcohol is missing? Matches, hole. Matches, message. I bet they want me to go get one of those soul keys that lights up. Like, for the numerous times I've walked in by the souvenir section and tried to pick it up and it said no. I bet it's gonna say yes now.
You can't be serious.
He's fast asleep, like a baby.
We got a cutscene.
Hey, my man.
Wake up.
How? What?
Nah, it's about time.
And I can't do anything until this is over.
What can I do for you?
We want another room.
The whole corridor stinks of sewage.
Of course.
So where are these people staying? Like, we didn't even see any other rooms. Whatever. I guess that's some kind of hint, or maybe that's saying that I opened the sewer.
I'd rather chop my hand off than buy this plastic crap from China and speed up global warming and the demise of mankind.
Seriously, are you still gonna tell me that? Was I supposed to use the sparkler with the matches? That doesn't seem like a permanent solution. So I guess you're assuming that further down this way there are more rooms, and the game is just not letting you walk there. I was recently just watching a speedrun for Resident Evil 1 HD remaster, which was the HD version of a remaster remake for like
There's
the
just one
GameCube.
single match in the box. I ought to think carefully about what I could do with it.
Let's see. I'm not burning this. We're not burning this. And we're not burning this. Breadcrumbs with the hole. Sparkler with the hole.
Ugh, disgusting stench. That's gotta be the sewers. Or a hole that's being used as a sewer.
See the hot spots in this area. We've got the TV set and the bathroom.
I'm not gonna find
one of
anything
the
interesting in the
what
bathroom.
I was saying though was
The room is very
like
small. and
walking
doesn't
through the
look like
doors
Angelina's left me
in
a
Resident
message.
Evil 1 during the speedrun. They said adds 20 minutes to about an hour speedrun. Just watching.
Should I sit myself
opening
down
and
in front of the
closing
TV
down,
and wait until
animations, which, assuming that that is true, that is an incredibly high amount of time to watch loading scenes walking through doors. And I think this game is doing a very similar job. We are walking through a lot of doors. That's pretty typical in point and click adventures, but generally you try to have as fast of an animation between the two.
I don't know what I can
And
ask
I don't
Murray right now.
think right now that's what's going on. Alright, let's see if I can maybe pick up the souvenir now that I looked at the hole.
I'd rather chop my hand.
Alright, he's still not willing to take the soul key, which seems ridiculous. And the game doesn't seem like it wants me to particularly do anything different. So now we go to the city. There has to be something else. Something in the pub. Some kind of form of light. I guess we saw that the pub should now be empty of the tourists.
The pub looks anything other than promising.
Let's see, I'm still trying to see if I can unlock any pictures. I don't
Bobby's
know
barred
really
the door.
really care.
There's nothing more happening here tonight. I hope.
So I'm not going back to the pub. The game is doing me a favor.
I've got nothing more to say to the guy. And he just...
And we're getting the same responses. There's nothing here. I might need a hint. I might have just hit the point where I'm completely at full tilt, to use a poker reference, or have maybe jumped a shark too, where it's just all downhill as far as my own gameplay and my own interest. Let's see. Guess I have a lockpicking tool now. You're not gonna seriously have me lockpick the museum, are you?
Locked up.
So I can't lockpick that.
2 typical 1.5 volt commercially available batteries.
There's literally nothing to do right now. And the game's never been this illogical. It's never wanted me to go 5 steps away from where I was. So I'm definitely missing something. Definitely missing something. Let's see, what if we started a fire on the souvenirs? That's something we haven't tried. Sparkler. Maybe I give the matches to Murray? Well, this is frustrating. And it's easy, certainly, to say a game is glitched. Oh, maybe I go to my room and get a...
There's nothing in my room that could help me in my search for Angelina.
No flashlight, apparently.
I'm not gonna allow myself a nap.
There's nothing here. Walking down this way does nothing. Walking this way doesn't seem like it does anything. Just try to get as far to the right. Try to get as far forward and to the left. Jeez. Let's just stop. Let's just stop. Stop right here. And look at our latest objective. The gaping black hole in Angela's room now that I've removed the cover. Judging by the smell, it's probably leads to a sewer. So I'll need light if I'm going to climb down there. And there's no hint. There's no hint whatsoever. So is this where the game is glitched again? Like, am I supposed to be able to pick up the souvenir item? Let's just go with an idea. Highlight everything in Sparkler seems to work.
There's just one single match in the box. I ought to think carefully about what I could do with it.
So Sparkler hole. Sparkler lockpicking tool. Sparkler knife. It goes red, so you know what objects would work with what other objects. And it shouldn't, frankly, be that many things that interact with each other at all. Let's just see. One assumes that the camera can't take any pictures of objects. Modern games have this 3D look at the 3D model of certain objects that you own function, and you know, a camera to take a picture of something in that basically camera mode for 3D models would probably be a more realistic reason for the ability to do that. Although then that would drastically increase the number of people just carrying cameras at all times. Of course, then you run into the cell phone problem too, where everybody in most games should have a cell phone at this point at all times, which would have a camera on it. Yep, this is not working. And I'm trying to think about these things also, so I'm not just blindly attempting things. We're not burning the postcard. There's like literally nothing in the game besides the souvenir. I think the game might be glitched again in a much more less recognizable way. What we'll try to do, I suppose, is
no. I don't.
We'll skip that. Let's see. Look at the lockboxes. Look at the other things.
I bet I could also open the other lockboxes. But I've got what I want, and I'm not a hotel thief. At least, not a full-time one.
So, yeah.
Even if there was something in the hotel's reputation.
So once again, we're just trying to see if there's anything we missed. No. We'll try and take the souvenir again.
I'd rather chop my hand off than buy this.
Alright. Every single item might as well be attempted to be clicked on the souvenirs. The only thing that would make sense would be the batteries.
There's just one single match in the box. I ought to think.
Is there another place where it would make sense to, like, we can't even use the telephone. So just stab him with a knife. Just give him your key. Give him the matches. Give him this. Give him that. Give him that. Hey, apparently there was a unlock for taking a picture of Murray. Yeah, that doesn't really matter, game. Like there's no place. There's no place to go or do anything. Even the pile of leaves are long since not a thing. Let's just walk as far back this way. Yeah, I'm not seeing any hotspots. It's really, really hard to come out and affirmatively say the game is glitched. Because it might not be. It might be that the game is just very poorly written right now. And because of that, it is asking of you to do one very specific thing that either I don't have the object to use or interact with, or I simply have not been able to think about it. Give breadcrumbs to the guy. Stab him with a knife. Give him batteries. Give him a message. Give him a lockpick tool. Give him a sparkler. We're gonna have to try the sparkler.
There's just one single match in the box.
In like every room. Did I try going down the area? The sewer area? I think I did. I'm pretty sure the game told me no. You can't go down there. There's nothing here. This was not a game that should have been released. It's clearly too buggy. And see, this is my greatest fear with THQ Nordic, is that from the ashes of a failed video game company of THQ that did some bad mistakes in how they released games and what games they chose to make, we get Nordic Games changing their name and acquiring all of the licenses, practically all the licenses of THQ, to call themselves THQ Nordic, and give it a couple years, they'll be right back down to THQ, I imagine, and they'll drop the Nordic from their name. Let's see. Before we move from this area, let's just make sure.
There's just one single match in the box.
And THQ Nordic is making Darksiders 3, a game I hotly anticipate and really want to be good, but I'm not sure I believe it will be good. I don't have 100% confidence when
There's
you
just one
see
single match in the
other
box.
games like this. Although, you know, maybe this was one of those THQ Nordic games that was finished by the time they even walked in as the publisher. But even that doesn't speak well. The Black Mirror reboot didn't really catch anybody's attention, and let's face it, it was just because of the Black Mirror
single match in the box.
television show.
I ought to think carefully about what I could do with it.
It's just a possible confusion of whether somebody thinking the Black Mirror video game that came out many years before the Black Mirror Netflix TV series were somehow related. It's kind of ridiculous that they even bothered to make a new remake or remaster of the original game. And they probably would have done better to leave everything the way it was and simply...
There's just one single match in the box. An entirely ordinary sparkler. It was definitely much more valuable to Bobby than it is to me. There's just one single match.
And now I can go down the hole. So what action did I take that let me do that? Did I look at something? Did I talk to somebody? Was I too obsessed about getting the souvenir?
I can't tell how deep it is, but I think I have to go down there. Angelina's being held prisoner there somewhere. I know it.
Maybe I needed to right-click it. Maybe that's what I needed to do.
There's just one single match in the box. I need some light. Without a light, there's a good chance it'll be me who gets injured and needs rescuing. A higher chance than me finding and saving Angelina.
This could be just a problem of me needing to click on the same thing multiple times. Let's just keep going until we get a repeated statement.
I need some light.
Alright, so we've got to that point.
There's just one single match in the box.
And
I ought to think carefully.
Clearly, that's not what they want us to be able to do. Let's just right-click the hole and look at it.
I need some light.
Alright. We still don't have a clue or anything. We're not going to get one of those. So we started this relatively 45 minute long chunk with a glitchy puzzle. Then we got to a puzzle I couldn't do just because of the resolution being done poorly in the animation.
Lights up in 3 different colors.
And then we got to this point.
I hate to buy this thing, but I need light, and I need it now.
And at this point, you could easily have not had the knife
An
or
excellent
the
choice, sir. A tribute
batteries.
to your good taste.
Just shut it.
So now I can easily take the soul key. Boy, that does look like the soul key.
battery's
It's just
fit
the
and I've
same
got light.
animation.
So, let's go down into the underground.
So let's go down into the underground. Or at least we'll do that in the next recording. This game has really stepped up its game as far as being annoying. Like, before this, the past 4 or 5 episodes, I've not been happy with the amount of progress being made. I've certainly been irritated by that, like spending 45 minutes and barely getting anywhere. Quite often starting a recording in the exact same room or one room away from where it ends, because we're just walking around in circles between 5 different scenes. We're halfway through this game and we're playing a point-and-click adventure that feels more like we should only be 30 minutes or an hour into it, and things should just be happening faster. However, this last 45 minutes has no room to mention or complain about any of that, because it's just been bad. Like, it's crossed the line, it's jumped the shark. At this point, I don't think I can recommend playing this game. And I'm not sure I really recommend playing the first game either. It was too long. It was just too long for kind of a boring story. Anyways, we'll talk about that more in the next recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, I'm asking people to friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have